Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, CJ, and welcome to Pause and Effect. Please join me in welcoming back returning guests Chris, Anthony, and Vanek. It's been something of a hot minute. How are you guys?
Pretty good.
What, that's it? Nobody else?
I couldn't think of a joke in time.
Yeah, I was trying to do the same thing, stealing my thunder, man.
I'm not coming in with the A material, not yet.
All right, well, good to hear you guys are doing fine all the same. So I brought you guys back today for one very specific reason. We pretty much just fangirled the entire time about like the characters and the story of the Legend of Heroes games, specifically Cold Steel 1 and 2. And after recording, we were like, wait, fuck, we didn't cover like the gameplay, the mechanics, the music, like everything else. So this episode, we're doing just that.
Oh, I thought this was an intervention.
I thought we were just gonna fanboy again. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, you thought about that? Did you remember that song? Yeah.
Just round 2 of last time, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Pretty much just round 2, yeah.
I thought we were just gonna get on CJ's case for not playing Trails in the Sky and Trails of Cold Steel 3.
SMH in my head, dude.
I mean, I did start Trails in the Sky, and after this, I'm pretty much probably just going to go back and play some more of it.
Sweet.
Okay, but yeah, so let me ask, what is it about the games from a mechanical standpoint that gets you to enjoy them so much?
That's a good question, actually.
Yeah. We're talking specifically about Cold Steel 1 and 2 now, right?
Yeah.
Well, in terms of the combat in particular, it's not too far-fetched to say that it's like a very traditional JRPG. Obviously the grid is a little bit different, especially in Cold Steel 1 and 2, because it's more of an arena. So you don't have as much of the straight lines that you did in the older games. And obviously the turn order and S-crafting is one of the biggest differentiators.
Yeah, the ability to manipulate your turns.
Yeah.
And, like, make characters go in different orders because of different skills was really cool.
Yeah, I did like that as well. Although like they introduced like delay and all that in those games, and man, you could just break that. You could just break every enemy once you actually learn how that works. You could just break every enemy over your knee like a twig.
I didn't learn that till 4.
Oh, you poor
you poor soul.
What are you talking about? I didn't need
That's when they got nerfed, and it was still good.
It was so broken in the earlier games.
Yeah,
it like wasn't even hard.
The early game, you could break that game like a twig. And
I already did.
They nerfed it twice in the other 2 games, and it was still good.
And you're talking about delay. The only thing I did was slap Dominion on Laura and just S-craft, and everyone died.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
The strat everyone thought they were so smart for coming up with.
And then it's literally
oh
everywhere.
My god. I thought I was so unique. I was like, oh, did I finally break a game on my own? And I was like, nope.
Oh, as soon as I learned delay, I was like, this can't be the way. And then I looked it up, it's like, no, this is exactly how you break the game over your knee. Like, oh, okay. Well, lucky me. And that's where I had fun with it, because like there's a certain joy in like breaking a game like that. Whether you discover it on your own or you just look it up because it's like, well, this seems optimal, and then you look it up and it's like, oh, turns out everyone says that. There's something to be said about them, especially in the first 2 games, where it is surprisingly easy without even having to look it up, just to how much you could just manipulate the game to just do whatever you want, to just do your bidding, and just like, all right, I win now.
Every single character can be broken in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, you can abuse status conditions, you can abuse delay. One of my favorite things was abusing shining.
Yeah, that was another new thing. And man, in the first game especially, that was so broken.
I think it's like 50% evade.
It was like it tacks on to like insight and shining. It's like it's 50% evade, and it tacks on to like however much evasion that character has. So slap that on someone like Fee, who the best I could ever get was like 95% evasion with her, but slap her with shining and or like inside, and boom, she's dodging everything.
Which
Oh,
wasn't
I-
useful in 1, though, unfortunately. And then they decided to randomly buff her in 2, and they made her attacks ranged counterattacks because she's got
thank God.
guns.
It's great.
And that's when she went from, I like this character, to holy shit, this character's busted as balls.
Seriously.
Yeah, no kidding.
That really was the game changer when you found out that her counterattack was ranged all of a sudden.
Oh yeah.
All of a sudden she's just zapping people from across the map.
I think she outranged most of the actual ranged characters, too, which is hilarious.
Almost.
Like anyone who didn't have a line attack, yeah.
And the
Yeah,
funny thing is,
almost.
she's one of the first characters you get in Cold Steel 2.
Oh yeah.
don't-
She's part of
Because
that
they knew
mission
what
squad.
they knew what you wanted.
They know. I mean, they credit to them for picking like the characters in a specific order, like putting Fee first to get you a taste of how good combat in 2 was going to be, leaving Laura for last because we knew everybody picked her for last.
I think you might be projecting there a little, but sure.
I mean, don't tell me when she showed up in the cutscene and killed all 3 of those enemies that you had trouble with earlier.
No, but like
I mean, you didn't have trouble, but
they
story-wise,
they introduced
trouble.
my favorite character in the best way.
Milliam?
Well, okay, fine. Hey, just the fact that she was no longer voiced by Ashley Birch was enough for me.
No, she still was.
Oh wait, yeah, you're right. That was the third.
Not
Damn
the
it.
3.
Damn it.
Ah,
Alright,
well, you
Toval.
live and you learn.
Is Toval your favorite character? Everyone loves Toval.
Football's cool.
Doval's the boy, the lad.
The boy. But yeah, I did like that about 2, where it's like, hey, here's all your favorite characters back, and they're just as broken as last time.
No, they're stronger.
a
Yeah,
lot of them-
no,
a lot of them
they
way
come
better.
they come back the very same at the end of the first game, but then they get more broken.
Yeah, because they're like true skills and EX versions and
Yeah, then they get
Oh, yeah.
more skills, and their busted skills get even more broken. So
Can
it just gets
someone,
even crazier.
Can someone confirm this for me? If you do a new game plus, you get all the skills at the start. Is that the same for if you play vanilla Cold Steel 2?
I think we talked about that last time.
We may
Did we?
we may have touched on that before, but the
I
answer,
don't
the
remember.
short and the long
Me
answer
either.
is like no. So you start at a very specific level in Cold Steel 2, even if you
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you started like what, level 45?
Before
I think-
Something like that.
I think it's like
But-
35.
Nah, it's higher than that. It's in the 40s. I just remember being mad because I was like level 75 when I ended Cold Steel 1. And then I start up Cold Steel 2 and it drops me down to level 45. I'm like, what is this shit? But the
You're
long
in a coma for a month.
true, but the long and the short of it was
But
if
you
you're-
want? They gave you the accessory and some orbs. What the hell did you want?
so
They
what
gave
it
you a
was
ca-
what
they
it
gave you a
was
cat.
was okay. They give you access to all the skills that you had in Cold Steel 1 if you got them all, but then your level is still reset. But every character starts with them.
I remember it was something like that because I did play it briefly.
Yeah, because if you played vanilla Cold Steel 2 without ever having touched the first game, because I did look this up, Reen would not have access to Flame Dragon.
Oh, really? It's pretty
Oh, it
interesting.
might have just been like their ultimate skills at the end then.
Oh, so he loses his worst skill.
I mean,
I
I
mean-
thought Flame Dragon was useful
terrible.
for
Any skill that isn't Gale is useless, let's be real.
Yeah,
It's 'cause
right?
Gale and Autumn Leaf Cutter are just so oppressive
True,
as
Grant.
far as skills go.
Granted, I found
Yeah.
myself abusing Flame Dragon a lot just to abuse Break.
Well, oh,
What?
okay, yeah, that's true.
I feel like it got better over time too. Like you didn't really need Gale as much towards the end of the game. So why not just spam Flame Dragon? Oh,
Yeah,
you could
plus
just
that
do,
they did.
Ogre
Plus that they
anyway.
did nerf Gale. Like it's still just as strong, if not stronger.
No,
but
no. They buffed it.
They buffed it, but they increased its combat points usage.
Barely.
It
Barely.
Went from 20
That's
to, I think it went from like 20 to 30.
No, it went from like 30 to 50, 55
which is
Okay,
still
but
nothing.
For
yeah,
Gale
which
or
you get
for Gale.
if you have Reen's I was gonna say his Schwartz. His
Schwartz.
his last name.
Reen Schwartz. No, it's Quartz, which every
He
time
has
he
the
hits something,
biggest
he gets
Schwartz.
CP.
Oh,
Like
of course,
if you
yeah.
just use Gale, you get like you don't lose CP, you gain CP.
It's because every time
Yeah.
you hit somebody, you get CP, and then it just adds on top
Yeah.
of that every turn.
And then you get the follow up, and then you do the
Mhm.
rush, and then all of a sudden everybody's dead.
Yeah, CP gen across Cold Steel games have always been like they've been getting smaller and smaller and smaller just because AoE
Yeah.
is so powerful.
Well, because
Yeah.
they also realized that with just a few simple tricks that, again, you're not really manipulating anything that all that complicated, or you just happen to have the right combination of things that were already built up from the course of the game. You could easily just like self-regenerate forever,
Oh yeah,
or
for sure.
like just take one character and just have them as the battery, and so everybody could just nuke the bastards.
Yep.
pretty much.
That's why I don't know if we're doing the same rules before where we don't really touch on the other half, but they nerf it hard in
Yeah,
the other two.
it's really hard
Yeah.
to generate further on.
Yeah, they nerf it hard because they know that that's going to be the first thing you try to do.
Although there's still some
Yep.
things you can do.
Yeah, but then there's new tricks.
Yep.
They thought like, oh, well, we have a bunch of characters that don't really play into those things, and they're kind of unique, and they have kind of weird combos of skills. But like, no, it's exactly that weird combo that you could break the game again.
Or just use Reen like always.
I know, and even it's like, well, he doesn't have the horribly broken skills. It's that like he doesn't need them anymore. He's he's still powerful enough on his own. The story even confirms that.
Yeah.
The story,
that's
the
3 and
story
4,
goes out
though.
of its way to give you that bias too, because it's like, well, he's
so
the main
good.
character.
Yeah.
He's the most important character ever. He's the self-insert. Now watch him get his shit kicked in every game.
And just watch him sink further and further into existential despair.
Oh, you don't even know the
Poor guy,
half of
dude.
it in the other
Seriously,
half.
play Trails in the Sky, cry. Play Trails in the Sky 2, cry a little harder, and then play Cold Steel 3.
All right, we'll
Oh,
do.
yeah,
then
and play the crossbow games soon. Those are coming out, I think, what?
Oh,
Not
yeah.
this year?
Oh yeah, crop.
That's
Oh yeah,
true.
Trails from Zero comes out in September.
That's
Yeah.
true.
God, I love those games.
I can't wait to play them.
Man, those were good.
I got my order in. I'm just waiting.
Those were
You know
good,
what?
and they were good because they weren't like the typical kind of fantasy either.
Yeah.
They're more like the magic plus technological blend that
Like the
you can
Final
kinda see in
Fantasy
Cold
6
Steel.
kind of.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of why like people started attaching to Cold Steel, because it wasn't like a high fantasy, low fantasy. It was like slightly modernish, but more rural, but with the like steampunk kind of qualities to it that people associated with RPGs.
Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of those like Magitech styles. Like I really like the lore wise, the reason for quartz and everything. Like people just don't have magic. Like the existence of a witch like Emma is just so exceedingly rare. So people just use quartz in place of like electricity and like gunpowder. It's just all over the place.
I always like that about settings where it's not just it's magic. It's just like it's just magic. Where it's like they try to give like a hard reason why. It's like, well, it's a
magical lamp or something, or
it's
the
like
magical car. Yeah, they don't do a great job of explaining it all that much. Like you'll have the same thing. Like, oh, how does this car run? Oh, it's just running off of quartz energy. Well, how does quartz energy work?
I think that's more established in Trails in the Sky, actually.
Yeah, it's more established in the rest of the series. But then again, the rest of the series is a little different because it's set like quote unquote in the past of that kind of time versus Cold Steel, where it's like, what is this
2 years in the future?
What is this vehicle? What is this car?
Yeah,
that's my favorite part of like the Trails franchise. Like you got airships and stuff, like flying
like
cars
people
and boats.
they can't figure out
But
what
then
car is.
they go to the main city, see a double-decker bus, and it's like, oh my god, what is that?
It is an automobile, son.
Yeah,
What?
you know that like technology somehow went backwards when like you have airships first and then Cold Steel 1 and 2, like, oh, we have this prototype for a motorbike. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like we have people that are straight up sky pirates, and they're like, "What is this bicycle that moves on its own?"
I mean, to be fair, we did invent the airplane before we invented the motorcycle in the real world, I think.
That's because flying
is
is
true.
better.
I mean, you're not wrong there.
No, I'm not. That's why I said it. Even Cold Steel established this truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they're always like, man, I wish we were like LeBron with flying ships. Oh, we got our trains. But trains are
That
cool.
too. They also go on
I
about
do
the
like the
train.
trains. Yeah.
Yeah, they also go on about the train, especially in the third.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we've got airships, then we have trains, then we have cars, then we have bikes, and then we have like giant mechs.
Yeah, we were from,
That's
like,
true, but that's
like-
that's in the second half where it's like
Yeah.
giant robot war. All of a sudden, we're Gundam.
Yeah, I was
That's
so
the other
surprised.
thing.
Yeah, when that happened.
Going back to the actual gameplay of it, it was really cool that they just like at the end of the game it was like, oh, by the way, here's a completely new battle system to play with. And you're just
Oh,
like, what?
jeez.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, I thought I was playing as Cloud Strife. Why am I now playing as a Gundam? What's going on here?
Mm-hmm. At the end of 1 though, that was so crazy and cool.
Yeah. And it's like Valimar comes in, is like, oh yeah, we Gundam now.
Oh yeah, we Gundam now. Now let's take down Char, Amuro.
Yeah.
And then they introduce like what I think is like the best part about the Cold Steel franchise with the sound design. Because whenever you use Valmar's slash attack and you get the follow-up, that sound effect is just A+.
Oh yeah.
Nothing can beat it in any video game I've ever played.
I
Yeah,
don't
no,
know
the
if I'd
sound-
go that far, but it is really satisfying. You get that nice, satisfying ding to it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's my favorite sound effect in, like, probably any video game. Just, like, the slash and the follow-up noise at the same time. Just like, oh, that's how you know you're succeeding at life.
I mean, hell, the music and the sound design in like all of these games is actually really good with
Oh, it's
both
wonderful.
the
Oh,
first
my
two Cold
God.
Steel games and what little I played of Sky. I'm like, yeah, goddamn, I'm impressed.
You
Like,
need
this
to
is-
get
yeah,
to
the
the
music.
song of
Yeah.
Trails in the Sky.
I'll get there. I'll get there.
Talking about
You
Silver
haven't
Will.
encountered Silver Will yet.
Yeah, Silver
Yeah,
Will.
man.
Hell yeah.
You will remember the song Silver Will.
Yeah, you really will.
And then,
Yeah.
you'll remember the song Hamel, and then you're going to be really depressed.
Yeah, like
But
if
then
you
it'll go back to Silver Will and be really good.
yeah, if you like any of the music in like Cold Steel and you talk to people, they'll still tell you that Silver Will is up there with some of like Falcom's best music.
It really is. And for those in the audience, if there's a franchise that you're like, well, I like the soundtrack, but it's like I'm not really want to like seek it out outside of the game context. No, these are things you can find by itself, and they are good. They are
Mhm.
bangers. They have a
They're all
whole
on Spotify,
sound
by the way.
team and orchestra and shit. If you look
Oh,
up
yeah.
their sound team, and like they break out the good shit, man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They
First of all,
upload-
to
they
the
upload it
audience,
YouTube too.
yeah, everything is on YouTube and Spotify. Look this shit up. Secondly,
Yeah,
like,
the
yeah,
entire
there's-
OSTs.
Like their
Secondly,
music
yeah,
style.
like there's something about like Falcon's sound team that's just like, no matter what it is, whether it's for like the Legend of Heroes games or the East games or like anything else, they get the music right.
I don't
And
think
not
there's a
only
single
that-
dud.
Yeah, not only that, they're diverse because
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
they break out a lot of genres and stuff. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, they clearly have their favorites.
I mean, you got what Keldic sounds like a traditional like JRPG town, and then the Valmar fights, it's like freaking techno rave, and you're just like,
Oh God.
Oh,
yes.
whoa.
It's amazing.
I mean, to
Then you
this
get
day,
to 3.
sorry.
Cold Steel 3 introduces like the techno rave, like trance music, and then you're just like, oh, here we go.
I
Mhm.
mean, even though I haven't played 3 yet, thanks to Chris, like, first of all, like, whatever, but thank you. I did get to listen to Liftoff, and that shit is great.
You know what's
Oh,
funny? I've
yeah.
been listening to
Oh,
Lift
yeah.
Off this entire podcast right now.
Honestly, I believe it. Fuck, I
It's
should have
just
done
on.
that.
It's on repeat as a backing track for
Yeah.
me.
It's it's good background noise.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, just any song. Like I found myself earlier this morning, like Thor's Military Academy Festival from Cold Steel 1 just popped up on my shuffle, and I'm like, ooh, yes, I could listen to this to wake up to this shit. Like, let's go.
I forget what song it's
Yeah.
called, but the title theme for Cold Steel 1,
Oh yeah.
Oh
where they're on the
yeah.
train.
Yeah.
that one.
That one's super
Two's
good,
Two's
yeah.
I think is the same, but
It is the same, but I think they take out the percussion.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
it's just kind of more.
It's
There's
more, it's a slightly sadder in a way.
I think it's kind of related to the theme of the game itself.
Oh,
And I feel
yeah,
like
that's the other thing.
that's one thing that Falcom loves to do. They actually like attribute just the theme to every single track and then just play off of it so well. The one that comes to mind the most is in Trails to Zero, actually. There's this one track called Getting Over It or Getting Over the Barrier. And
Did like that.
yeah,
I've
it's
seen that recommended.
it's
but
Oh,
so
I think-
it's super good because
I
think-
heard it actually. Isn't that the main battle theme?
Yeah. And what they do is they have 4 main instruments in the track, and for the most part, each of them has like a solo section, but begins to gradually support each other more and more throughout the song until they finally get to like the crescendo of the song. But it perfectly mirrors what happens in the game, which is super sick.
And then
I
you get
can't
to
wait.
hear all that stuff happen in 3 and 4, and it's like, ah,
Oh yeah, fucking great.
Oh, they bring back all the old songs in 3 and 4.
Oh,
and you're just
that-
like, wait, I recognize this song.
Yeah, and it's like remastered and done so well.
Do you know what kills me about the music? And I know you guys are gonna know this part, where like we're gushing right now all about the music and the OST and the sound team and everything, but the thing that absolutely kills me, because it's in 1, and it's like, if you're unfamiliar with the franchise, like most of us are, where we just came into this not knowing the rest of the series and like,
Mhm.
oh shit, this is all great music, and then they talk about the festival at the end, and they're like, we're gonna perform as a band. And it's like, oh, man,
when it's-
Ah.
That random as hell jerk,
Come
like
on,
that J-pop
bro.
song, where it's like, wait. It's like,
you
wait,
know,
wait.
as soon as I said
Yeah,
band,
once you said
everybody, you
one,
know,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a
one.
random ass part. It's like, yeah, cars
you
are
it, like,
weird,
oh man, here it
motorcycles.
comes. We're gonna have like the most banging ass thing ever, and then what?
Nothing. They don't even like sing or anything.
Yeah, I was like, oh, are they
It's
gonna?
like-
Are they gonna?
It's
be...
like the most random part. I thought it was gonna be like this huge, like overblown thing. It's like, oh, we're gonna hear some singing. Nothing happens, and I'm feeling disappointed. And then like suddenly the old schoolhouse lights up and opens up an alternate dimension. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Like go back to the band. Go back to the band.
All I
the
thought
lead-up
was, oh,
was
thank
funnier.
God, we're moving on.
I think the lead up was funnier when you're in Elisa's hometown, where Crow and Elliot are like discussing the costumes and shit. He's like, all right, we need to make these outfits like a little bit revealing, but not too revealing. I mean, it's like, Crow, can I sit down and talk to you for a second? You do realize, Crow, that all these people, they are not legal yet. I don't want to go to jail yet.
And there's Crow's response.
Is it
I
in?
think
What?
Crow's
So
just like,
what?
yeah, what
Yeah, you
up?
should have
Yeah.
seen Crow's band's outfits. Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. Where it's like, oh
Yeah,
man,
that's
if you think
good.
this is bad, here, take a look at what these guys wore.
Yeah, like what
Hey, look
Toa
at
was
Toa.
wearing. Yeah,
She looks like
everyone
she's
remembers.
10. And look at what she's wearing. She's 10.
My God. Oh man, they
man.
had all that lead up to it. It's like, oh man, it's so cool because they actually like they're a sound team and they can actually like put out an actual track. That's gonna sound really cool and diegetic, and it's gonna fit in the story because they're actually performing, and
And
it's
oops.
nothing.
Yeah, they don't even have any singing or anything. And
Yeah, like I
Aw.
didn't expect the voice actors to sing or something, but I thought
Yeah.
something was gonna happen.
Yeah, it was,
Granted,
it was probably
for
one of the
the
most
Vita.
wasted moments.
It
was
really
for the
was.
PSP. I'll give it a pass because it was for the PSP. So I guess
That's
that might
true.
have been-
that's fair. Yeah.
That's
It
fair,
wasn't like Cold Steel 4 where they, or like 3 where they were actually able to add vocal tracks, which by the way, there's a vocal track in Cold Steel 4 and it plays at probably the sickest part of the entire game. Play
I think
Trails
I
in
know
the
what
Sky
you're
already.
referring. I think I know what you're referring to. Oh
gonna-
man,
We're going to pull you out of that.
play the
pile of
other
shit.
half already. God damn it.
All right.
I get through
You
the whole
guys-
series first.
Do you not see the name of my Zoom?
Yeah, I see.
Tell 'em.
Yeah, all I'm seeing just thrown in my face every 5 seconds when I look back at this fucking screen is play Trails in the Sky. Damn it, I will get there.
Is it working?
Have I done my job yet?
It's subliminal. Smoke.
Yeah, just look. I get it. Play Trails in the Sky. Damn it, I get it.
Smoke.
I get it. I'm just like, come on. Can I at least finish like some of these other like endless JRPG libraries that I've got going on before I finally get back to? Okay.
No, these are way more important.
These
Are you
games so
smoking yet?
scattered.
Am I smoking yet? What?
Are you smoking yet?
What the hell?
Oh, you guys. That's a Family Guy
man.
reference.
Yeah, I remember. It's like
Smoke. But that's I because all I see is that too is like play Trails in the Sky. Like, oh jeez.
Do any characters in Trails smoke? I don't remember.
I don't think any of them do.
Other than Walter.
All I remember are bugs and shoes.
Just Walter. The enforcer.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's the shitty thing about Cold Steel 1 and 2. They don't bring the enforcer theme.
Oh, you dude, yeah. Oh,
I mean,
the enforcer thing was badass.
I mean, isn't Sharon an enforcer?
No, hold on.
Yeah, but the first one is all about the first one's all about setting up its own little world, and then they start breaking out all the references.
No, there's a theme for the enforcer specifically that you see in Trails in the Sky 2.
Oh,
and
it's
it's
really
like,
good.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
yeah, I know.
No, I'm explaining it to CJ for context for him.
Go ahead.
Yeah, in 1 and 2, and even 3, they don't even play the track. They played it in 4. Granted, it is at the best part you could play that song for. But like an iconic song such as The Enforcer is not being played at all through 2 and 3 is just like, weird.
Well, that's because 4 is the one. Like we're talking all about like fan service and all these characters coming back for this and that. That really happens in 4. 3 is like it's kind of creeping up in there where it's like, well, there's these certain guys over here and they were doing this really crazy thing. Oh man, wish we could tell you all about it. You know.
Hey,
but 4 is really where they just come at you, where it's like, hey, how about this? And don't you remember that? And oh, there's these guys, and they're rattling off like 45 names at you, and you don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like in 1 and 2, especially for Cold Steel, the like Ouroboros isn't really like the main threat, other than being a part of the Noble Alliance. So it kind of makes sense that they're not as central of a villain as they are in like Sky, where the enforcers get their own theme.
Yeah,
because it tries to set up the whole like conflict of the kingdom itself, and then 3 and 4 is where it's like, nope, we're secretly just going to resolve everything.
Whoops.
I'm guessing there's a shit ton of enforcers, considering like they showed
there's like.
They showed like
tarot deck. Yeah.
They showed like Sharon's thing a little bit and Blue Blanc's thing a little bit. It's just like, oh, they all have like numbers next to their shit. I'm guessing.
Yeah, without revealing it, there's a lot. It like, God.
Okay. Yeah, you'll meet a lot more in Sky than you will anywhere else, I think.
To be fair,
I already know about Walter because Kuro no Kiseki's marketing ruined that shit for me.
Oh, that's another thing.
Oh, yeah,
He introduces the concept of sunglasses, and everyone's freaking the hell out. Circling back to the technology tangent, they're less like, he's wearing these dark glasses. I don't understand what they are, but they're weird. It's like, you mean
he's never seen sunglasses before.
You guys have flying machines, but you don't have the ability to protect your eyesight from the sun? A little bass backwards here.
I think Walter is
priorities,
in the animation. He's in the Trails in the Sky animation, I believe.
Oh yeah, because I did see this. Because I see the GIF everywhere of like
Estelle
running up trying to hit him with the staff, and then he just kicks her.
Yeah. It's pretty accurate, honestly.
I mean, the entire Cold Steel or Trails franchise is main characters do stuff. Bad guys show up, they fight. Bad guys kick their asses but leave because they're bored. Rinse and repeat until 4.
Pretty much.
That's true. And 2 and 3 are worse about that, where it's like you have them right at your hands.
Oh yeah.
Why don't you just like kick the shit out of them. Nah, I'm good. I'm out of here.
Hey, here's a welcome tonight's guest star, Oliver and Tolval. Come on down to center stage and help these children. On the left side, we got Mr. Arcade. Come on down.
Yeah, that was the one thing that pissed me off playing through 1 and 2. It's like, oh, you have all of these boss battles that you do, and you work, and like in some instances it takes a couple tries. You do end up beating the bosses only for them to just like come back. I was like, hey, psych, I wasn't taking this shit seriously. Now you die.
Yeah, get used to
the
that.
worst one. No, because I would argue. Well, yes, in the other games, yeah, it really plays around.
Worse.
Yeah,
It goes way overboard with the. Nah, I'm good.
yeah, like I was just practicing my new attack. Maybe I'll just get serious now.
I
Yeah,
mean, to
like
be fair with McBurn.
sorry, Sensei. I have to break the seal.
McBurn's
I only
the
showed
only
you.
one.
I only showed you 1%
Yeah.
of my power.
Yeah, McBurn is just so over the
Oh,
top.
McBurn is
honestly.
just the worst about it.
Yeah,
But he
like,
makes sense because he just does not give a shit. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I can
Yeah.
understand him. Like, oh, these guys kind of might be a threat. Maybe I'll
But
try.
it takes 4 games.
yeah, he's
before
like
we
so
finally
comically over the
get
top.
something
He's so
resolving that.
comically over the top, honestly.
We get 4 games of just like, nah, I'm bored, man. Well, I know all about this and that and the other, and I
Yeah.
could tell you, but I don't wanna. Fuck you. No, let's fight, man. Man, you suck. I'm gonna just get the fuck out of here.
Hey, Reen, remember when I said that you and I were kind of similar, but not really? Yeah, just kidding. Wait, I don't know.
Fuck you. Now let's
Asshole,
fight.
man, yeah.
You suck. You still suck. Come back later.
I want to go.
And then
fight
and
that
then
blue-
finally, you think you have a resolution in the end of the second dungeon, but no, because they're the first fight in that dungeon. So like
McBurn wasn't the
it
first
ain't gonna
fight.
it's not gonna end there.
No,
Yeah.
McBurn was the last one. The first
No,
two were.
No, the first ones were him and the night chick.
No. The night. It
And
was
then-
the night chick and her 2 lackeys. I think were the first one. Then it was Zeno and Leo was the second one, and then it was McBurn.
Was it? Oh yeah, because
in
that
the
fight.
castle, yeah.
Yeah, because that fight.
Because then Sarah and Sharon show up, then Tolval and Olivier, and then
That's
it was
true.
Victor.
Arcade, yeah.
No, you're
Oh,
right.
yeah.
You're right. Because then that's where it's like, well, now I gotta go serious, and
Yeah.
he does go serious.
That's pretty
and then
badass.
Yeah, and then you beat him, and he's like, "Nah, I wasn't even trying."
Hey guys, guess what? Super Saiyan.
Yeah, now all of a sudden, like, oh, now we're gonna go serious.
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah, we're about to die. Oh, here we go. And it's like we're about to have a cool.
Look. Hey,
We're about to have
Boris
this.
Dad, when did you get here?
We're
Like,
about to have this
goddamn,
really
you see
cool boss
McBurn
battle.
just,
Go.
You see McBurn just like transform, and I'm like, are we the baddies? Is this man just Goku?
Dude, yeah, McBurn is so over the top, honestly. And this, yeah, the trope of, oh my god, like we're so powerful and hopefully we can beat this guy. Oh, we beat him. Oh, guess not. Oh, someone's gonna save us. It's something that really like gets on a lot of people's nerves throughout the Cold series, like the Cold Still series. And it honestly just gets worse over time.
I mean,
Like,
granted,
the
there's
second is the worst about it.
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
other
for sure.
RPG
No,
games that
no,
pull
the
that
third.
shit.
3
too.
is pretty
third.
bad about it.
Third was
There's
the
other-
worst.
Yeah.
No, I would say second because it's the climax of it all, and they're like, no, here comes character last second to save the day. Oh man, don't remember that guy?
I mean, it does it in 3 though, but in 3, I think it's worse because they confirm it themselves. Like, wow,
You know
guys
it's
are
bad.
actually on par with us now.
You know it's bad when fucking Toval has to save you. Toval,
Toval's
the
like
one
one of the-
character who
Toval's pretty
doesn't.
strong, man.
Sir,
Toval's like
not
top
a,
5.
sir doesn't matter in this story. Comes in to save your ass.
What are you talking about? Toval's like one of the like top 10 strongest characters in the entire continent.
That's why they don't use him, because he's
Oof.
just that powerful, huh?
I mean, yeah,
He didn't really get that much screen time, yeah.
Where he walks around with his fucking cell phone like it's a fucking magic wand.
And
You
he
know
has
what
like
I
a
think?
stun
Yeah.
baton.
I think the reason why like the story
Like he's like one step away from breaking out the fucking sonic screwdriver shit.
Oh god, you're right.
Yeah,
But,
once I thought of that comparison, I was like, oh my god, he really does fucking act like that.
he is just the doctor, and that just kind of made his character worse. But then I realized, but then you remember who his girlfriend is, and it makes it better.
It does.
That's true.
It does.
Play
and
the
then
games.
all of his interactions in 4 are hilarious. Cause it's just like, why am I here? This is weird. This is kind of crazy. Is this crazy to anybody else? And everyone's just like throwing planets at each other. It's like Dragon Ball Super, and he's like, I only seen Dragon Ball. What's this?
He's still charging up.
But I think the big issue with like the story is the fact that the gameplay makes you feel like a god.
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
then and like I said, is especially it does. The battle system, again, it's really easy just to think for a second, like, well, why don't I just do this, this, and this, and then all of a sudden every enemy will just break to me.
Yeah, like, but then the story's like, just kidding.
Yeah, but then the story is going out of its way to be like, you are not like, these characters are clearly not ready for what the hell they're put into, and especially Reen. And it's even worse because Reen is one of those characters, especially in the first 2 games, where you can build him to solo fights.
You can do that with Fee too.
Yeah, like
I've seen videos.
You can build him.
Oh, yeah,
you can build Reen, the main character, to basically break the game by himself. But every cutscene that involves him and his conflict goes out of its way to just make him get his shit kicked in. Where it's like, this guy is seriously just trying to kill himself at some point.
Yeah, and I think they do a good job with that.
Time.
They do a good job with that, like selling Reen's, like, he's not just having a battle as part of Class 7, but also his ridiculous internal struggle the entire series.
Well, because it's trying to do the whole like power fantasy where it's like, this guy is hopeless romantic, harem everywhere, got cool powers, got power no one else has, is super strong, like can do everything, he can just do anything and everything. But again, then the story goes out of its way to be like, nah, man, we're just gonna shit all over this guy at every turn.
His power comes at a great cost to his mental psyche and all this other stuff, and the darkness in his soul.
I mean, Reen is basically DJ Khaled. He's suffering from success.
Oh my God! Stop!
Jesus!
I hate that you're right, but also you ruined.
Yeah. Reen. Oh my God!
Hey, that's what I'm here for.
Another one too many.
Yeah, I will say that Reen's like character trope problems definitely aren't really like prevalent anywhere else in the series. Like Lloyd and Estelle in particular really just don't have the same problems that he does. Like they're obviously not as over the top and successful as him, but they're also just different characters entirely. Like Lloyd is very much like a down to earth. He's like a smart guy, but he's never like seen as, oh my God, he's so powerful, he could rival the divine blade of wind. It's
that's true.
It works because of teamwork. And the same thing with Estelle. Like Estelle just really works because of her charisma and her stubbornness. But
yeah,
Reen
that's true.
Has everything. Yeah.
Reen really is like that typical protagonist, like a shonen character, just plopped into this semi-realistic world where it's like, nah, man, people fight, people get hurt, people fucking die. And anything that has anything to do with anything magical or supernatural is clearly based on something. Where it's like, if this guy has a power, it's due to something. He doesn't just have it like you think Reen does. And then they do go out of its way to explain all that. And then when they do, it's like, man, it's not just like, oh, he has it because he's the chosen one. It's like, no, he has it. Like he has it. He got it and he has it and he can use it and it's really cool. But like, clearly this is not a good thing.
Yeah.
I feel like they tried something with Reen, but along the way they either like shot themselves in the foot by setting him up as it is, or they just could not write it in a way that didn't make it tropey. Because I like Reen as a character, despite his flaws. Like I think he's one of the better.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, Estelle is my favorite protagonist of the entire franchise, bar none.
For sure.
So is everybody's.
People say Lloyd's really good, but
Estelle is just charming. Yeah.
I think it's because the company kind of knew they had something with her, so they kind of put her as the face.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Estelle is you know, she is like the brightest of all like the main characters. She's just hopelessly optimistic, and it's so charming to see that in like a
I mean,
protag.
Estelle's just hilarious. I've only played like Sky first chapter for 3 hours, but like, yeah, she's already my favorite.
No, yeah, she's wonderful.
She only gets better.
Yeah, agreed.
He really does, and especially when you get to 4, and just seeing her mash with this broody loner character that's trying to be all deep and somber and like you don't understand. It's like shut up.
She already went through that, man. She's dating that guy right now.
That's why
She
she already knows what to like. She already knows how to handle this bastard. It's like shut
Yeah.
up, man.
She's like, man, I gotta do this shit again. God damn
Yeah,
it.
man. I have to
Got
deal
this
with this
shit
shit at
4 years
home,
ago.
man. God damn it.
Ugh. Smacks
That's
me on
why
the
I
back
like
of the head.
it gets. That's why I like the first games are not so bad
Yeah.
about that with Green. The third one sort of, and 4 is because it's building to a whole thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, okay, fine, and especially because, and I'm not gonna spoil anything, but that goddamn fake out. You like the fact that it's the fact that you have to do it twice.
Are you talking about?
I'm talking.
the thing
I am talking about the thing at the very end
of 3.
of 4.
Oh baby.
You're gonna
Yeah,
have
of
to
4.
remind me later because I don't quite remember. I'm trying to think of what I
Yeah.
was.
I mean, I
think
don't like.
another-
I don't know how much I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I don't know how much
probably
to
less
reveal.
less we can talk
I-
about it, the better. Yeah.
Yeah, the
You
less
can
I
ju-
talk,
you can
the
just
better.
DM. You can DM it to me later. That's why. But I think another thing that makes Reen fail with the harem stuff is they saw how well the romance with Joshua and Estelle worked. So I think they were trying to be like, you know what? Persona kind of did something interesting with like the social links. Maybe we can try something like that.
Oh no,
But
it's
then it
it's
came with the
definitely the
issue-
middle ones. It's the Crossbell series. They did
Oh, the
the
Crossbell-
romance
they-
one. Yeah, they actually implemented like a little romance bonding system with all the characters.
Something like that. I remember.
Hmm.
But is it like Sky where it's like specific pairings, or can Lloyd potentially go after anybody?
Anybody basically.
yeah,
He,
see, I
he
think,
has he has this whole thing throughout the game where there's like segments where he can talk with specific characters or choose characters over others, and it's never like, you know, the strict favoritism and bonding events that you have. It's more like, oh, you have the choice to take this person with you on a secret mission, or hey, you want to spend this time with this person over the other one, you know, taking Kia out to go shopping, you know, that kind of thing. But it's never
Yeah.
like dating sim style. But then suddenly at the end of the game, you're given a bonding event with your character that you've given the most time to.
It really
is-
is. It really is like Cold Steel, where it's like, but just with less of the romantic angle to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
It's
I
that
mean,
you are
honestly, I don't
bonding with
mind
these
that.
people.
yeah,
yeah,
I
it's
don't
the
mind
fact
it. I thought it was cool actually. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
With
all
him,
these characters could be romance options, which is neat.
yeah, like with him and the SSS, it really is like you are bonding with them because they are your friends.
Yeah.
With Cold Steel, it very much is like, whose bones do you want to jump? Go ahead.
I mean, I don't think it was like
Yeah.
that in the initial part of 1. 2, I definitely think so.
It's
Two,
just-
definitely,
especially
because
with-
it really does.
Yeah.
It really is kind of building to a climax there, and then 3 is like the
Oh, yeah.
3 is like the
Three-
next part of that.
3's like, oh, we kind of kept this in 1 and 2. I guess we got to do it with 3 and 4 too.
Yeah.
Oh, but there's like
was add
7 new characters. that
all
he
of
has to
them
talk
wanna
to.
all of them wanna get on his
All of them.
It's the
Literally
issue of-
all of them, and some that clearly said they were not interested anymore are
Yeah.
suddenly interested.
You
Yeah.
can't see it, but I'm shaking my head because, like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, like
It's the issue of
it's
it wasn't
everybody-
cake.
that's why like it's literally everybody and some who told you no.
Yeah, I mean it does contribute to the comedic value at times, but
Oh yeah,
it can definitely be overdone in some cases where you have like 10 girls in the same room all looking at Reen in the exact same way. You're like, damn, bro. You can't even have a normal conversation with somebody without worrying about stepping on someone's toes.
They wanted
But
their
they-
cake
but
and
the fact
eat it
that-
too.
At least they acknowledge it in some regard.
Yeah.
Because even in the beginning of the 3, where it's like, man, he just does everything, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like it's almost like he's going out of his way to do everything at this point.
Yeah, the very start
feel
of
like
3
that's
when they want
what,
to take his
that-
thunder.
Yeah,
That's
where
what
it's like,
Fee's
man,
character
he stole
default to.
our thunder.
These characters just evolved to calling him out for that shit the entire time.
That's why 3 and
It is
especially
pretty funny,
4,
yeah.
when you get the other pro tags, really started just poking at him, where it's like,
Oh
man,
my
shut
God.
up, get over it, come on.
The midway point of 4, where all the characters are just dicking on Reen, is probably like the highlight.
Yeah, because that's where it really where it gets to the point where it's like, dude, come on.
Like, guys, we're kind of aware of the issue, but just stick along for the rest of the ride.
Yeah, it does set itself up well though. I think through 1 and 2, like Reen
does.
doesn't necessarily like try to romance anybody. He just has that kind of dumb trope where he's like, oh yeah, I'm just a hopeless romantic just because of the way I talk and don't realize what I'm talking about. Same
Well,
thing as
yeah,
Lloyd. Lloyd does the exact same thing, honestly.
Yeah, it's a refreshing take because it's
Mhm.
like all these RPG characters are just like, I'm depressed because life sucks. I have god powers, but he's like, my life kind of sucks, but you know what? I'm trying to make the best I can out
Oh,
of
yeah.
it instead of being depressed about it.
Yeah, and I think it does lend itself well to Reen because Reen is like a thoughtful character. Like throughout the course of 1 and 2,
Yeah.
you do see him just actively taking note of like strong like other characters and the way that other people think, and he calls them out for it.
And not to take away, this is not even to take away from all of the other characters.
Oh yeah,
Because it's just the fact that, like, yeah, he has the story and he's going through all this, but even without the actual like pairing events or the romance or anything, just how he bounces off of all of the other characters, the fucking numerous amounts of them,
oh yeah,
and how they bounce and how he bounces off of all of them is really good. Actually, it shows that and it shows that like we're not just all playing. Not everybody's just playing to the one stereotypical character trope. Like everyone has nuance, and everyone's actually bonding with one another and talking to each other, and even calling out their own bullshit. Where it's like, man, come on, like get over it, or like, come on, man, it's not that complicated, or why don't you just do this?
I think another thing is that these characters can exist without Reen in a way.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
if Reen is missing,
really smart,
they can still like function as a unit. Whereas I haven't played Crossbow, so I don't know if Lloyd disappeared, if that would like destroy the cohesion. But if Estelle like gets stolen in Sky, like that team is basically FUBAR.
Yeah, the way I think about it, and this is going off topic. This is going off topic because I'm going to mention another game.
That's fine.
It's like you said, if you pulled Reen out of that story entirely, I think everybody would still be like good friends, and the story could basically function okay. Versus somebody like Persona 5 Joker. If you pulled Joker out of that game, the entire group and the story just falls apart. Because it's his story. It's not their story. I mean, sure, it's about the Phantom Thieves, but it's his story.
Yeah.
If you pulled Reen out of that story, if you pulled Reen out of Cold Steel, the plot, and I think everybody would still function just fine.
Yeah,
you would have to shift some of the big plot, but like the fact is like it's like a season of school, and they're all getting to know each other. It's like Hogwarts.
You can easily just track it from like the end of Cold Steel 1. Like if all the mech stuff hadn't happened, like, and just the war went as it is, I'm pretty sure the plot would have been like more or less the same, other than, you know, obviously Divine Knights being pretty ridiculous.
Why, like, you would have to play around with the big plot.
Yeah. But I feel like all the characters would definitely still work.
The first game, and even a lot of the second, would still hold up pretty good, because it's like these guys, they all are characters that like one another and clearly get along and have gone through shit. Go ahead.
Now that I think about it, Reen did kind of solve all the issues.
Yeah.
With the class in a way, because he kind of made Machias and Eustace sort of not hate each other.
Well, the game calls it out, and Reen calls it out, where it's like, you're basically putting me in here to like solve. Yeah, you're putting me in here to solve the problem. He calls out the teacher, where it's like, you're making, like, why is everyone literally the same but me? Like the group is
you know what? You did it once, you can do it again. I want to go get drunk. I'm
I
really
love
tired,
Sarah.
man.
Sarah is so honest.
She's the best character in Cold Steel 1. In Cold Steel 2, I think that might go to Sharon.
Sharon is hilarious,
3,
but yeah.
3 is Aurelia.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Aurelia is pretty fucking funny, but yeah.
I mean, I've played
That-
2. I know
that-
who she is.
No,
Yeah,
but
you don't know
she
who
becomes
she is.
she becomes somebody else entirely in the third game, and from moment
We'll
one
let
you're
you
gonna
get
see
there.
why.
We'll let you
yeah.
get there, yeah.
Noted.
Yeah, just play Trails in the Sky, damn it.
I'm getting there.
We have enough of JRPGs to go through.
Yeah.
True. But yeah,
I mean,
sorry.
we're playing the biggest one right now. Another one's coming out in a week. There's there's 0 coming out soon. So like, man, how do you even have time?
Hurry up, bro.
JRPG fans are living good right now, especially with like the pandemic where everything slowed down. It was the perfect time to get into RPGs.
I mean,
seriously.
I mean, I will say that doesn't mean most of the modern RPGs out there are good. I mean, like, I tolerate a lot of Cold Steel 1 and 2's story because I thought it was really great. But then again, like, circling all the way back to what we said about, like, oh, you beat bosses and they're like, ha, psych, I lied. It's more like you do see a lot of that too, because one of my favorite JRPGs of all time is Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, because I did play the original Wii release.
Mm.
Oh,
It's
you
like,
poor thing.
yeah, I know. But I'm just like, yeah, that's no stranger to like faking you out with bosses either. And like Xenoblade 2 is like the worst of it all. Even like, what's that fucking game? Oh, Tales of Arise. God, I hate that game.
Oh man,
Really?
you hate it?
I do not like it.
Oh
Like,
man, we got to talk about that at some point.
Yeah, I
Like,
think that's another podcast discussion. Is just the
Yeah,
Tales
right. Like that's a
franchise.
whole episode right there.
The only thing I will say without going too off topic is like everything about that game except for the combat is fucking boring.
Okay.
I played it for like 5 hours and I had as
Careful,
much as
man,
I
you're
could
gonna-
possibly stand.
Without getting into it, I kind of agree.
Man, next thing you're gonna say that Milliam is your favorite character.
No, that would go to Gaius.
Ooh.
Gaius, man, he's the Rock.
He's a badass.
Wow. Not only did you say Gaius, you didn't say a female character. Now that takes balls on the internet.
There you go, man.
It's Toa, man.
Trails
She's
of the Cold Waifus.
It's Toa, man. She's so good they literally put her in another game. It didn't even say anything.
Oh yeah. Was it Tokyo Xanadu?
Tokyo
Yeah.
Xanadu.
I mean,
love
you say
game.
that, but I love Toa and Reen as a concept because they're just like
Toa is the best, honestly. She's just like amazing. Sorry, I'm gonna
She
start
doesn't-
fangirling.
yeah, she's so I love Toa.
That's why, like, she's literally she was literally so popular. They literally just copy pasted her into another game.
You give her the same
Last
name.
name-
They like just give her a different last name.
Didn't they say she was like they're like cousins or something?
Oh
Oh no, she was the main character's cousin. She was the main character's
Yeah,
cousin.
yeah.
Because I remember,
Yeah, but it's
I remember
it's
seeing in
literally
Tokyo
the same
Xanadu-
character again.
Same face, same character.
I mean,
yeah.
I remember seeing in Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus, there's a storybook in that game, and it directly references Reen and Elisa as the main characters.
Was it? I just remembered that they
surprised,
had
yeah.
a I thought it was like a show or an anime or something where it's like, there's this cool character who's like this Eastern swordsman, and he has these cool powers, and it's like, oh, it's Cold Steel.
Oh.
They're referencing
It's hilarious.
himself.
I'm
You
pretty,
can see.
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure it's referenced as a fairy tale in Xanadu's universe.
That's
You
why,
can-
like, it's referencing the game. It's like, well, haha. Of course, the team's gonna reference their own game. Sure.
You just
so funny,
reminded
yeah.
me.
Oh,
The
boy.
anime for Cold Steel, albeit it got delayed, but they confirmed that it is going to be about the Northern War.
Oh shit.
Which
Really?
is
Yeah.
the Northern War, for anyone who hasn't played 3 and 4, is the stuff that happens in between 2 and 3
Yeah.
off screen.
Oh, so the boring part.
So they never
I
like,
mean-
really talk about all that much.
I mean, Reen uses Valimar a whole bunch, and Sarah was there, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, so the boring parts.
Hey, are you calling Sarah boring?
I will die on my hill. Man, I hated that about 2 and 3. Like, we don't even have to talk about that game itself. I just hate that part where it's like, oh, and then all this really cool shit happened, but we're not gonna tell you about it. Oh, and all the characters had a hot spring episode, but we ain't gonna tell you about that. Oh, and all these characters, like, god damn it.
Wait, there's a hot spring episode? What?
Yeah, there's like a time skip of like 2 weeks, but in Cold Steel 1,
Where basically they all go on
everybody
vacation.
goes to a mirror and goes to that hot spring resort.
Where they all go on
Wait, wait.
vacation.
Wait,
It's
wait,
like a
wait.
small-
In Cold Steel 1?
In
like a
Cold
side
Steel
material.
1, it's only paid in like a 2-minute lip service, and that is it.
Wait, when?
Between
Was-
chapter 6 and 7.
Yes, where they're like,
Oh.
oh man, wasn't being there great? Yeah, that shit was great. Remember when that happened? Yeah, that was so funny. It's like,
Granted,
what?
Like, show us, goddammit, show us.
They do in 2. Because a Ymir becomes their main base, and then there's the part where all the girls are bathing and the monkey shows up, and then Reen's like, guys, I'm on it, and everyone's like, Reen, what the fuck?
And then
Fucking all the girls,
and then you
man.
just go snowboarding after the fucking monkey. That shit's great.
Oh, that's right, you do, and then
Yeah.
everyone's like really pissed at Reen, and I'm like, bruh, you guys know what Reen does. You know how he functions.
Like, this is
He
already the
literally
second
ran
game.
off to go play SSX Tricky, and then like,
He could have gotten some of that Lisa pooch.
Oh god.
But no, he wanted to go do some rad snowboarding tricks with a monkey. Granted,
It does sound like Reen.
I think Olivier was at the bottom of the hill, so maybe.
I could just again just to bring back the fucking SSX Tricky thing. He's like he like the song is just playing in his head while he's going down.
It's tricky.
It's tricky.
All the girls are berating him, and in his head is just like a gameplay clip of
Rock
FS.
that to rock a rock that.
You're
Like
not
it's just playing in his head.
Yeah, like, so what do you have to say for yourself, Reen? It's tricky.
And then they just fucking beat his ass. Because that's what happens, isn't it? They like they like fade away, and they're like, I think we taught him his lesson.
Yeah, they reference like they beat his ass.
Yeah, that they basically kick his ass for it.
I mean, hell, shit. That's like another fun thing about the Cold Steel 1 and 2 games mechanically. Like, even whatever mini games you're able to play or you get to play or go out of your way to play, like, they're still really solid and really fun.
Are you
like
telling me
fishing.
your favorite mini game was the fucking swimming one?
Nah,
Oh
snowboarding.
god.
Uh,
Swimming
No,
one.
the swimming game can go die. I mean, I eventually
Why?
mastered it, but that game can go die.
Why did they have to give every single girl a pronounced ass?
Because
Yeah.
they're all literally the
It's the
same
same-
model with
it's the same model,
with
yeah.
different heads.
Okay, why did they do that in 3 and 4 then?
Oh, that's right. Because it's
Yay.
modern console.
Don't worry about
Modern
it.
consoles. But
Yeah,
no, like
be-
the
And then-
snowboarding mini game is fun. The like there's motorbike races that you can do that are still kind of fun.
Wait,
I hated the snowboarding, man, because that game was basically. I hated the snowboarding.
It's really
I
easy.
actually didn't mind it. Granted, like I did.
That's why I
suck at
hated it.
The music made up for it though.
I
I
only
hated
did
the
It wasn't
snowboarding.
bad.
The snowboarding was just a stupid time trial. I wasn't expecting SSX Tricky, but I was expecting more than fucking Daytona USA.
The one
Were
thing
you,
I didn't
that
expect
were you
it
trying to
at
do
all.
tricks like 360s and
I mean, the one
was
thing
great.
that made me mad was like you
All
couldn't race
all I'm
anybody
thinking
else.
You guys, you
Reen
guys
was
are
trying to
thinking.
rein it-
You guys are thinking SSX Tricky. I was thinking Daytona USA, where it's like Daytona, like fucking.
oh man.
Oh,
You know
boy.
what? I just
let
wanted to
go
see.
away.
I wanted to see Reen do his favorite skateboarding trick, the Christ Air.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh
like,
shit!
wow.
It's a 900.
Wait, is
God,
that
I
Darth
want to play
Maul?
Tony Hawk again.
Oh,
What's
that's
better?
another episode, man.
Man, what's Spider-Man and Darth Maul doing here?
Oh.
Why aren't
Nah,
that many
man,
other,
nah,
like,
nah.
mini
The
games
fucking Metal Gear Solid 2 one.
That one I'm
Now-
not familiar with.
Yeah, like that's a fucking deep cut. No one remembers that one.
Unless you're a
Nobody.
fan of Metal Gear.
Which I am.
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear. That's a whole other episode.
Yeah, I feel like there weren't that many mini games over the course of the series that really stuck besides like fishing.
Yeah, it really was fishing.
It was just fishing from like Trails in the Sky 2 and onward.
Granted, what JRPG does not have fishing involved in it though?
Yeah.
Trails
That's-
loves fishing. It's like so ingrained. Like there's
It really
always
is.
so much
Yeah,
like
there's an
plot
entire
involved in
side
the
quest
fishing.
behind it. Yeah.
It's always a huge plot chain. And then you
It's
have
like
like a
it's like
crazy
Tales,
reward
man.
at the end.
It's
Yeah.
it's like Tales with the cooking thing, where it's like it's basically been there since the beginning.
Oh yeah, they have cooking in Trails too. I just fucking forgot. There's so much cooking involved.
I mean, at this point, you just need to hit Reen with a hat that says "Women love me, fish fear me," and
You
then
know
have
what?
whoever his
What?
rom- and then
Honestly,
have
that.
probably
and then have
more.
whoever his romance option is have another hat that says "Wishing I was fishing."
Oh my god!
Oh god. Fuck.
See, the
Damn, I
thing
didn't think
is,
you could top that first one. But
you know what's
damn,
bullshit?
I am to please.
Half the romance options can't fish.
Oof.
That's true.
No, in the first 2 games, only Reen can fish. In 3, him and New Class 7 can fish. In 4, him, New Class 7, and like maybe 3 or 4 other characters from Old Class 7 can fish.
something like that. I remember that where it's like all of a sudden all these other characters can fish. It's like when?
Like, hey, Fee can fish. Now I'm like, okay, cool.
I forget. Do they need to fish? Was there any benefit to having them fish? Or was it just like, hey, they can do it?
It was for the rewards.
The
For the
rewards
points.
for the points,
Yeah.
and then like you could get extra sepith to upgrade all your shit.
Yes.
I don't know if it was like Yeast 8 where it affected things. So I know Yeast 8, whoever like was fishing, it affected like cast distance and cast like height.
No, it was
yeah, I
nothing
don't think
that
so,
it was
yeah.
it was nothing
Yeah, I
that
don't think
deep.
it was.
It
I
really
think
came,
it might have just been cosmetic.
Oh, okay.
it wasn't cosmetic only. But you got rewards out of it at junk.
I don't think it affected what character it was though, other than like
Oh, the
record.
character, yeah, like which character
Just
did
if
it
you
didn't
got-
matter.
If you just did
Yeah,
basically-
character.
For that one, it was basically pick your favorite character at that point.
That basically is 4 in a nutshell. Like just do everything with your favorites at this point.
It really is because they bring literally everybody
Smash
who's still
Bros.
alive, who
I mean, you're right.
everybody who was still alive back, and even some who are supposed to be dead.
Just spoil the entire game, why don't you?
Yeah, dude. Damn, man.
Yeah, but how the hell are you supposed to get that? How the hell are you supposed to know that from those words?
I mean, the only thing I know about 4 is
4
that there's
spoils that. The game itself spoils the fact that like we're bringing fucking everybody.
I mean, the only thing
Yeah.
I know about 4 is that there's at least 50 characters,
Oh my god, no.
Is it that many?
like 50
Yep.
playable.
I counted.
Is it really? I knew
Yeah,
it
I
was a
counted.
lot, but I didn't know it was
I
that
counted.
many.
Like 3 already had a shit ton. I remember going into 4 and thinking,
Yeah,
wow.
3 was bad.
Oh my
3 was
God.
bad enough, man.
But
I
one thing
mean-
I will say is that I think Cold Steel in general, like the Trails franchise, does a really good job of making every one of the characters feel pretty unique in their own way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether or not
Mm,
just be
yeah.
like, obviously you can switch around quartz and stuff, but like crafts and stats and everything, like characters can just feel so different from one another, even if they share similar roles. Like you can have a
But-
battery character, but still have the character do other stuff that just separates them so entirely.
Yeah, man. Then you get to play as my man Tovo, the best character.
My man doing
Wait, I thought Altina was the best character.
Notice how we just let it hang there.
I mean, I like Altina.
We gave you that second of dead air for a reason.
I know, I couldn't think of any other characters that I'd never use because I used basically everybody in 3.
I used everybody too,
I
but
did
I was
too.
I just like the combinations,
she is
especially New Class 7 because they're oddballs.
and she's
All of their
good,
skills are weird.
but
I will say
we're also
I
getting the
prefer-
spoilers.
Yeah, I prefer New Class 7's like combat skills to Old Class 7's. Honestly,
I like the New Class again because they're all oddballs. You're so used to the old guys, and like their skills, and they're pretty straightforward. It's like bow, like person with bow shoots straight. Like okay, they have like a healing skill. Okay, guy with gun has big area attack. Okay, but then you got people with some weird ass weapons or just combinations of skills that like what? You do
Yeah.
not expect a guy with that kind of weapon to do this kind of thing, but you know what? It works.
You do get a really like cool mix with the new class 7 versus the old one. One thing I will say with 3 and 4 that I don't want to go too much further in because I feel like it would talk a little too much about 3 and 4 is how they changed up like the follow-up and pairing up system like links.
Yeah.
It's so much more in depth in 3 and 4.
Man, we
Like,
didn't
1
even
and 2
talk
is
about that.
1 and 2 is it's so bare bones. Just get like was it you just get rush and then brave and that's
No, you
it.
get
right?
you get the follow up. You get
Yeah,
the
there's
rush,
You
one,
which is
you get
two.
follow up,
and
you
then
get rush,
5.
and then you get burst.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
5.
Yeah. And then in
Like,
2
it
you get like
made-
what the overdrive system. The overdrive
And 2,
system
you
is
get
so busted.
overdrive, but
Over-
overdrive, man,
Oh, man.
overdrive was so fucking broken, especially at the end when
Yeah.
you had everybody all set that they just straight up take that away for the next game.
Dude, the
And I
best thing
couldn't use
about
it 'cause I was too
overdrive,
afraid.
the best thing about overdrive is it's a nerfed version of how it is in Aoi no Kiseki or Azure.
I barely remember that one.
Yeah, it was so good in that one that they brought it back like a game after in a nerf version and they had to take it out again.
Granted, it was for the best.
Yeah, it was so way too good.
Because again, like even in 2, it is busted.
Mhm.
Because it's supposed to be like, well, you use it when you're desperate or use it when you're doing a big burst. But the burst is so big, it's just ridiculous.
It gives you everything. It's like it clears all your stats. It gives you CP, it gives you HP, lets you cast arts instantly. Like it's just so
Gives you
then
powerful.
when you have-
follow-ups.
Yeah, instant follow-ups and breaks and everything. Yeah.
Literally, like there is literally no downside to it, and especially when you can just regenerate it.
Yeah.
I would never use it because I was like always waiting for that one opportunity to use it, but it would never happen. And then party wipe. But that
Oh
was
my
only
God.
like Cold Steel 1 for me. I only died to the sea fight because I never killed the mines. 2, I only died to that fucking monkey in Laura's
Other
area.
one,
Fuck that.
yeah.
Fuck that monkey. And
He was
then
so strong,
the
yeah.
final boss. Those are the
I'd
only
say-
2 times I ever.
I
had
only
trouble.
remember it was one of the stupid dying a bunch of times to one of the bosses in the dungeon in 1, and it's because they confuse you or something. It throws
Oh.
a status effect at you. I think it was the statues.
It's
The
the
ones with the
um,
lasers.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
it's like the
I remember hearing
triple
about that.
like
The 3 of them, yeah.
yeah,
And
they
one of them is bad enough because they can I think it's either
they
petrify or confuse you.
they magic down you and they slow you as well.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
It was so
I,
fucked.
I
yeah.
hated that fight.
where
Yeah,
all
like-
of us and you don't have your healer either. You have like Emma who heals solo.
Yeah.
Who can only heal 1 at a time.
Yeah, it's not until like chapter 3 or 4, I think.
Because you
Where
don't you just don't have
oh yeah,
options.
it's chapter 4 where you finally get Elliot as an AOE healer. And
Yeah.
that shit is bonkers.
I think he has what
And then he gets the fucking time
the
skill
regen,
and gets
yeah.
even worse. Oh wait, I'm thinking Machias.
yeah.
Machias.
Yeah, no,
That's it.
I remember.
All the
No, but even in 2, Ellie get the
oh.
fucking heal?
He gets
S-Craft?
a holy song. And no, he has his his S-Craft is a heal from the very beginning, I think.
Was
Like
it?
his-
I thought
his first one.
the first one was I thought the first one was damage.
No,
No,
the first
it's his second one.
his first one in CS1 was damage. The one he gets in CS2 is a heal.
Oh, that's
Is it
right. It
damage first?
changes.
Yeah, it changes because I remember
Yeah.
like trying to interrupt with it, and then my team got healed to full, and I'm like, wait a minute.
I mean, it
Like,
was
cool, but shit.
I mean,
It's
you
like, oh, neat.
I did learn you could just as easily have gone back and set Elliot's old S-Craft up in the spot. And I'm like, okay, but why would I want to do that?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
but what
right.
if you're like me, who skipped that tutorial because you weren't paying attention, and then you hit the situation where you wanted to switch it, but you didn't know how.
But I
then you
wanted
realize you don't use Elliot
to,
anyway.
I wanted Elliot to kick some ass, man.
I didn't use Elliot. I used Emma.
Yeah, right.
Like most people into, yeah.
In 2, I used Elisa as my healer.
She's also
Yeah,
good.
she was another one
She's
where
really good. Although
yeah.
she's a one craft character.
Yeah, but then again, like I hardly ever needed it because I could just use her to give all my characters insight.
Now,
Yeah,
man.
It's just
here's a
'cause
question.
Flamberg and Molten Rain are so bad.
Here's a question for you guys. Circling back to the combat. How often did you guys use arts?
Not often.
Only
Not
when
often.
needed.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe not until the final boss when I realized in Cold Steel 2, where I realized like,
Yeah.
oh wait, like my party is constantly getting wiped by this thing. Wait, Elisa has Seraph. I could just use that.
I mean, other than healing I would use arts for, but other than that, I never used it.
Well,
it's weird. Honestly.
The only time I seriously used it was again, like they said at the end of 2, where it's like, oh, I can't just plow through this one like I can the others. All right.
Otherwise, I really didn't give a shit about arts.
Yeah,
like they were nice to have simply because, like, oh yeah, the more busted versions of all this shit gives. Like,
where you get the
that
lost
boost.
arts.
Yeah.
You know what's funny?
Arts,
I never used the lost arts at all.
I used it only for the I used it only for the stats.
Yeah.
Stats.
Because the stats in those were ridiculous.
For the most part, whenever I play Cold Steel games, I try to play them on Nightmare for the beginning just to see how the game balances.
I played it on hard, but that was only the first one was just because I didn't know anything, so I was like, I'm not gonna go hardcore, not right away. But even after the others, I was like, okay, I'll do hard because I'm trying to enjoy this. I'm not gonna be frustrated.
I did 3 and 4 on hard, but I did 1 and 2 on normal, and those just got easy as it was your party.
I tried, like when I first started Cold Steel 1, I tried it on hard, and I found I was just kind of face rolling things at the beginning because you don't really fight too many things outside of like just the bugs and the little roly poly guys that don't take any damage. So I tried it on Nightmare, and I've been playing it ever since. Arts in general have a really weird like curve when it comes to Trails games, where in the very beginning, like in Trails of the Sky, arts are incredibly busted.
Oh yeah, like, they're the only way you can actually.
It's the only way you can play the game. Like crafts are actually so terrible.
Yeah, right. Oh my god.
But as you go on, like arts just get worse and worse.
Man, we could just talk about the rest of the series at some point.
Like going from Trails,
but somebody has to play the rest.
No, we're never gonna let you live this down.
I will say, you want me to end the podcast right here?
I mean, I do have to go at some point.
Arts in 3 and 4 are really good though. Like they do get a lot stronger.
They do get a lot better. Oh, it's also because the combat in 3 and 4 is not totally retooled, but they
did a lot of balancing.
There's a lot of changes, and again, like it isn't just spam CP anymore. They nerf that hard, so arts are actually a lot more viable.
It still worked out for me.
I mean, yeah, you could still plow forward, especially once you learn what to do. But it's no longer just use these 3 skills, you're done.
It's use these 3 different skills.
Or it's like wait until you get your preferred combination. Then you can break everything. But until then, you're stuck with this character. You don't like this character? Well, too fucking bad.
Yeah. One thing I thought was really interesting was like the line system when you're making your chord setup. It was so different back in the other games than it is in Cold Steel. Like, do you remember having like the little tiny numbers next to all your quartz, because your quartz would give you a specific like element, and then the higher up element you got and like combination would let you cast a specific arts. Yeah. And then they were just decided, I think in Cold Steel, hey, here's just a quartz for, Seraphic Ring or for Thelos, where before you'd have to like think about, okay, I want to have some HP here because then like 5 blue quartz would give me access to Thelos so I can actually revive people. And some characters just couldn't cast specific arts because their little quartz setup, it just wouldn't let them use elements.
Yeah,
like Chloe was just locked into blue, and she just couldn't cast anything but water arts.
Which, I mean,
are you telling me I couldn't just equip Ultima to my favorite character?
Yes.
I mean, I will say that is the thing that confused the hell out of me when I started playing Trails in the Sky, because I'm like, oh man, this quartz system is so different.
It is different.
They change up a lot over the course of the games. And eventually
you could tell they really had to dial it in.
Yeah, they make it a lot easier and less restrictive. But then you could also argue that they nerf the power of arts over the course of it because of it. Like a lot of the art spells they're just not as strong because you don't have to dedicate so many of your resources to them anymore.
I think it's also they made craps just that much stronger.
Oh
too.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Like
Craps
craps
are
were
way-
instantaneous. They had like all these cool like bonuses. They generated CP, so you never ran out of CP really. But arts, you had to like delay your turn, which for
Yeah,
me
'cause
it's
you had
like,
to
man, if they're
actually-
not dead in the next 30 seconds, I'm gonna go take a nap because I'm bored.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's like, man, I'm done. I am done with this stupid dungeon. I just want out.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna fucking plow right through them. Just yeah.
Mhm.
That's how it feels a lot of the time. Yeah.
Especially like in Cold Steel 1 with the fucking schoolhouse, where it's just like, man, I'm done here. Can we go?
Mhm.
Like at the end too, where you had to go through all again.
I like all the levels. Yeah.
Yeah, where you had to go through all again, and it's just like, man. And 2, where you had to go through the fucking epilogue shit, where it's
Oh,
like,
like
man,
the
can
procedurally
I?
generated place.
Yeah,
But you know what? That part was fun.
that part I literally
was
ran
cool,
through
yeah.
everybody. I just ran through every fight and plowed right to the end fight, and I beat it anyway.
I like the procedurally generated part at the end.
I
I
hate
think
it, man.
it was a cool like unique thing. where
The
it's like,
only
yeah,
good
you-
part about it was the fact that everybody was there.
Yeah, they give you
Yeah.
access to everyone, and then you could get those those little
Yeah.
items that turn you into specific characters, like Lloyd or what
Was
was
it
Yeah,
her
Lloyd?
that
name?
was the only neat thing about it, was that, like, you know what? You already beat the game. You already know what
Yeah.
happens here. Have some fun.
Yeah, they gave you
Yeah.
ones for Lloyd, Risha, Crow, and I think
I thought it was
Vita.
Oliver.
It was a Vita.
I know there was a Vita one, but I think the other
Yeah,
one
it was
was Oliver
Vita.
and not Crow.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
maybe. Yeah, you're probably right. The Vita
Something
one
like that.
was so broken.
Because I feel like
Yeah.
if Crow was there and everyone is like, "Good job, Crow." What?
Yeah.
Wait a
I didn't
minute.
even use them. I got them, but I
Yeah.
didn't even use them.
I used
because-
Vita once. I was like, "Oh, this is neat."
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
I was like,
so
it's
strong.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's cool, but I literally beat the actual final boss without any of that, because I guess I was just so stupidly overpowered that I ran from every fight and ran right to the end, still won, got the ending.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody cried.
Yeah, and then like,
And
oh
everybody
man,
cried.
like that's why I was like, oh, I
Dude,
got to
I
the end.
cried,
I'm
man.
finally,
I
I got to the end. I'm finally done. This dungeon is stupid. I want to go home. And then everyone's all sad and crying, like, damn it.
I'm like, God damn it, stop. You're making me cry.
Oh,
That's
was
why I
freaking
like,
tearing up,
ah.
man.
See if I care, because I do.
Dude, the Trail series makes me cry every time, bro.
That ending in 2, man, it's just it
Dude,
tears at
Its
Sky's
storytelling is that
Sky's
good and that
endings
powerful,
make me
no matter
cry.
what game it is.
it
Oh my-
tears at you, man, because it's like, wow, I really have gone through all this shit with these guys. I feel bad too.
Yeah, yeah.
I think like I cried like 4 different times in Sky 2.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and Sky,
Beautiful.
man.
Beautiful, yeah.
There's the one scene with those two. There's the scene with Tita and what's his name? Why can't I
Like
think of his name?
Agate.
Agate, yeah, him and Agate. There's the ending.
The ending. I remember that's what got me.
Yeah, that got me
Yeah,
so
the
good.
ending. Where it's oh my
Especially
god.
because it's like,
Oh,
oh, how could you?
that's like fate is cruel. No, but then they made it like just hold
They
me.
made
I'm
it
just
so
like,
good.
don't you
They
fucking
made it
do
so
it.
fucking good, dude. Yeah.
Ah.
But yeah, like I cried at the end of Cold Steel 2, because it was just like, wow, it really is the end, huh? It
Yeah.
really feels like we've
Yeah.
hit like an end point.
And then
It's
Cold
like-
Steel 3 pops back on and is like, hey, we're back on our bullshit again. Let's go.
Hey, remember
Yeah.
everybody? They're older and better and more badass, and they're not wearing stupid school uniforms.
Oh, they're so badass.
And then they start at level 1, and I'm like, you want to say that again, Falcom?
Not that bad.
Level-
like
Level 1
yeah.
relative to the rest of the situation.
yeah, like they're still so strong they could beat up basically anybody.
Because they
That's-
go out of their
that's
way
what
to
I like.
reintroduce everybody all badass.
That's what I like about the series too. Like the mooks are like pushovers, but the bosses are actually challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like the Trail
it
series?
really gets worse in 3 and 4 about that, where it's like, the mooks, the regular enemies, they actually can't put up a fight if you're not paying attention at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Mhm.
I never had
But
trouble
the
with mooks at
bosses,
all.
the bosses still will kick your ass up and down if you are not paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Trails series is like the only RPG series I can think of where the bosses were hard, challenging, but fun.
Oh yeah.
Oh, 100% agree.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
There might be an argument for Pokemon, but it's like
Nah,
paper
man.
thin and
Nah.
soaked in water.
Man, we gotta talk about Pokemon at some point.
Well, it's funny
Finish
that I mean we have been talking about that a couple times, but it's funny that you mentioned that because considering how many times each of you have been on the show, I did mention this in the last episode, which was published 2 fucking days before we started recording this. That for every 3 episodes, like somebody comes on the damn show, you get to request
This
request
damn
an
show.
episode.
Do I?
this damn
Yeah,
show.
like do I get the free sub?
Yeah, there's your free vote. Is it Pokemon boys?
Do I get the free sub now? Can I pick?
What am I, a
Wait, who
Twitch
gets
streamer?
the pick? Wait. Who's
Yeah,
all
you owe
getting
it
the
to
pick
him.
here?
So okay, so you got so Chris Anthony, because it's your 3rd episode, you guys are the ones that get to suggest an episode and it gets done, no questions asked.
Ooh, look at that.
Oh, no
Some
questions
favoritism.
asked.
That's
Yeah.
some favoritism. Damn.
Yeah.
No
Van-
questions asked, huh?
No questions, huh?
Damn. That
Vanek,
is,
since it's
that
your
is,
2nd episode, you got to wait one more.
You're
How about
that
this?
is rife for
Let's
abuse,
try.
man.
Let's try to agree on one.
No. You get Pokemon. I got one. I got one. You can
Oh,
get
Oh
your
well,
Pokemon
if
you want.
if I get to pick it no matter what, I better actually save it for something good.
Yeah, Pokemon's popular enough that'll get posted. But you
Yeah,
want to know
like
what my pick is?
Okay,
We
what
literally
is
have
your
we
thing?
literally
I
have a
wanna know
new
this.
Pokemon game coming soon. Eventually, we're gonna hit it at some point.
You want to know what
Fair.
my choice is?
What?
The one that we're gonna do?
Let me guess, Trails in the Sky.
Damn it!
I think we're
No,
Honest-
I was gonna say Trails of Cold Steel 3 and 4.
well, then we
You
would
have
have
to
to
wait.
force
Yeah,
him
you're
to
never gonna
actually
get him.
play the damn
Nah.
thing.
You're never gonna get that episode, dude.
I mean, that was the joke. I was trying to get him to play, but if it's one that, you have to come back to me. Maybe Fantasy Star Online episodes 1 and 2. Maybe
Ooh, now there's a good one.
that's
Yeah,
that's one of my
those I
that's
haven't
top
played,
2.
so I'm very interested in learning more.
Dot hack.
Ooh, what the?
Ooh.
Wow, that's a throwback.
I have never played those
Jesus,
games.
dude, you're an old man, dude.
Man,
Nah, man. If you wanted my age, I would say something like fucking EverQuest.
Oh
Ooh.
no!
Oh,
man.
no!
God.
Oh, dude, you exposed it even more, man.
man, I would have said Baldur's Gate 1.
Honestly, I think
Oh,
I'm
shit.
not sure on everyone's age exactly, but I think I am the oldest.
Oh my god! EverQuest.
Probably.
I'm almost 30, dude.
I am 30.
Oh
Okay.
my god!
Ooh, seniority. He's
And
taking
it's-
over the podcast.
SMH
It's my choice
head.
now, kids.
Jesus Christ! A man's balding as a beard gut over here.
Only one of those is true.
Man, I wish I could say the same.
Oh man, you'll have to get back to me on a choice, man, because that's a good the fact that I can choose one and it'll just be good that will go with it. I have to think about something that one I like and 2 will actually make for a good talk because I don't want to just pick my stupid favorite game and then no one knows what the hell I'm talking about.
I mean, for
Right.
reference, and you can go back and listen to the previous episode, but the one that got picked previously was the current state of fighting games versus how they used to be in the past.
Ooh! Oh god!
That's another case too, where it's like, well,
That's fun.
we could pick like a topic, and I
Yeah.
like, and again, it's like, well, since I have the ability to pick, like
Pick
I
a
want to think of
topic.
something. I want to think of something good, you know.
Yeah,
The
well,
state of
That's a fun
waifuism
topic,
in
though.
modern day gaming.
Hey, don't you
women
touch my
ruin video
waifus.
games. Have women ruin video games. More 11.
Hey, keep
No,
the
we are
status
not
quo,
doing.
man.
We are not doing the waifu shit, man. It's been 30 years, and we all know that Misato is the best one.
Oh,
that is a discussion that we're going to have to shelve for another time.
Oh man.
But before we go, other than Play Trails in the Sky, damn it, do we have anything to shout out before we finish up?
play Trails in the Sky too. Damn it.
God damn it.
And played
Play the
third.
other 2 games.
I will get there.
You got a long list, buddy.
Like I am slow as shit and my neck hurts sitting at this goddamn desk chair.
I mean, you've heard it from all four of us. Like, if you haven't played these games and are just listening to this off like some random idea in your head, go out and play them. I think there's something for everybody in like the Trail series.
Yeah, if you are at all an RPG fan, go play them. You will enjoy them.
100% agree.
If you're a fan of cute girls, you'll like it. If you're a fan of good music,
yeah, there's a
if you're a fan of
media
dope
out there
combat mechanics, go play it.
If you're a fan of Matt Mercer, go play it because Matt Mercer's in here. He's in it twice.
Probably more than that.
Maybe if you're not a fan of Matt Mercer, still play it.
If you're a fan of Ben Diskin, he's in it. That's another thing we didn't even mention, like the voice acting cast.
The voice acting's great.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, man.
I think we hit on that a couple times in the first podcast episode.
It can be hit or miss from the start, but I feel like as the series gets along, you get some good voices out there. Yeah,
they do get better. I'll give you that.
And also, one last shout out from me. Like, even if like none of this has convinced you, like I said before earlier in the podcast, every single like song Falcom has done in all of these games is available on YouTube and Spotify and like every fucking where else. Go listen. They're amazing. Yeah, you're not going to get the context for half this shit, but it's still going to be awesome.
Yeah, go check their official like music channel. Like Falcom's music channel is so extensive.
They're on Spotify. You have no excuse, man.
Just listen to A Glint of Cold Steel, which is the main battle theme of the first game.
Silverwill.
Hell, Silverwill, Atrocious Raid, the first song you hear when you boot up Cold Steel 1. It's like this game, it sets you up.
Tie a link to Arcus from Cold Steel 1, Severe Blow from Cold Steel 2, Liftoff from Cold Steel 3. Like
Blue
Destination. These things are fucking bangers, goddammit.
Decisive
don't
Collision.
do it.
Just whatever you do, don't listen to 1s and 3 and 4 until you play 1, 2, Sky 1, 2, and then maybe the Crossbell series. Then maybe you can play 3.
Agreed.
On a stick.
Agreed. Dude. Honestly, yes.
Honestly, don't even listen to the music. Go play the games first and then listen. Then get back to us.
That's fair enough.
If I have one last serious point to make, don't be intimidated by the fact that, well, I don't understand the whole series and it sounds like I need to know everything. If you're really not that up for playing the others, getting a summary video or watching a walkthrough or something will get you through just fine. But man, it really enriches your experience, especially in the latter two games, if you know all of the context, not just the summary.
Yeah, you will be
fist pumping in the air, like
when you know all of the characters and you know what they've been through and you know who they are, and then they pop up randomly because we're trying to wrap up all these plot lines. It's so satisfying. It really is like getting to the end of a long series of books where it's like, wow, this character's back and they're doing all their crazy shit and it's all this like. It really gives you that little kid mentality of like seeing all your favorite heroes come together.
Yeah.
And because it's a game, it's arguably better. And that is the hill I'm going to die on. And that's our show. Thank you, everyone, so much for listening. And please stay tuned to the next episode.